7:14. Oh, goodness. Yeah, we don't want to get off on that discussion, do we?
No, let's move on.
Anyway,
good morning, Dale.
Things at Mechanic?
Cold?
Yeah.
I was just up there and got the heat turned on and got the lights flipped on and everything's working. But, man, it was cold. My truck thermometer on the way in was going between 9 and 10.
Wow.
Yep.
Frigid.
Pretty frigid.
Well, I'm glad you flipped the lights on. Had you flipped the lights off, I'd be worried about it.
Oh, Dale's funny this morning.
Oh, real commodian, huh? Anyway, busy last week?
Yeah, man, we've had the last 2 weeks have been really, really busy with us. And
That's good in January.
Yeah, I can imagine that with the way the weather is today, that we'll probably have quite a few little calls with. It's probably always going to be some kind of a starting or a heat issue today. I imagine there's going to be plenty of that to go around. And yeah,
I can't get any heat. Roll your window up.
Yeah, man, the heat's going to be in short supply today.
Well, when Mike walked in, I said, there's something I would discuss, and I'm going to pick on Chevrolet a little bit, but this happens with all the major brands. Advertising. Now, I was watching the Phoenix Cardinals play the Green Bay Packers.
Which was a pretty good ball game. I saw them at the
second half, yeah.
I saw the last 5 minutes and the overtime of that game, and that was pretty good.
Well, I watched the first half and shut it off. It was like 7-6 at half. I think, I got better things to do, you know.
Yep.
Car ads. Of course, football and car ads, that's just how they are. And this beautiful white car being advertised, and the guy says, no, we've taken the emblems off so you can look at this car and, well, that looks like a Lexus. Well, that looks like a BMW. Well, that's a $60,000 car, blah, blah, on and on and on. And well, look at that technology. Look at this. It's got basically what an iPhone does, and it's got a bunch of Apple software and a computer in the dashboard. But it's just a basic Chevy. Malibu, or what's the other Malibu? Impala. Maybe an Impala.
It's a Malibu.
Malibu, yeah.
I saw that same ad.
Okay, that's not a General Motors feature. And what they're doing is, in my opinion, they were redirecting the focus away from the recalls and any issues. And I'm picking on Chevrolet, but Chrysler's got the issues. I mean, and then you've got the airbag issues with all the brands that buy that particular airbag. And I'm sure there's something from Ford and some of the others. Don't go buying a car based on some outboard product like Apple in the Chevy. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right, I know what you're saying. I saw that same ad. And the first thing that popped in my head was, whoever thought that the Chevy Malibu was a BMW or a $60,000 car?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Same thing with a Taurus or a Chrysler 200 or the Dart 2.
You're not going to get confused with one. To me, now that's just me, I don't know. You're not going to confuse one of them with a BMW or a $60,000 car like the one in the commercial. But yes, most all of your manufacturers now across the board have integrated some sort of technology into the dash on these cars. Ford has Microsoft
do they?
Stuff working on theirs. I see the badge on the dash of a lot of the Fords we pull in. Chrysler has Uconnect, which I don't know, but I think that's something they have rigged up themselves. Some of the Asian cars have got Android setups. Man, it's the technology. Chevrolet's got their cars have a 4G hotspot, so you can stay connected to the internet and all these things.
But now I'm driving down I-40 going east towards Nashville, or Friday I was in Poplar Bluff, Missouri for a funeral. I can't take my eyes off the road and be surfing the internet on the dashboard.
Well, now, Dale, I've got my fingers crossed that this isn't geared for the driver. I'm thinking they want the passengers to have entertainment, not you. But you've got a point, when we go to look for a new car, a new truck, new vehicle, I'll say it that way, our number one overriding concern should not be what sort of cool technology. For me,
yeah,
this is for me. I can't speak for everybody else, but as far as for me, that is secondary to everything else on the car.
I grew up when I was knee high to grasshopper. Dad had a '57 Plymouth.
Yep,
it had a heater. It had crank windows and bench seats. That were the options.
Right.
And they didn't have an AM radio in those days.
My truck has Uconnect, that Chrysler set up in it, and it is neat. It's cool. It's kind of handy. if it didn't have it, I would be just fine without it. What I myself worry more about is powertrain and things like that that's going to get me down the road and keep getting me down the road. But a lot of our younger people, you know, they've grown up in a generation of electronics, and they're always connected. Mm-hmm. Something that just, to me and you guys our age, is just boggles the mind. Because when I grew up and I had a clock radio in my bedroom as a child, I thought I was cutting edge. Mm-hmm. A clock radio.
Turn on and you could pick up KTLO AM.
Yeah, and listen to KTLO is about it.
I mean, that was some of my clock radios still have tubes in the back of them. You know, and pick up AM radio really good.
Now our younger people are connected to the whole world on the internet 24 hours a day.
So why does my car have to be connected to Beijing, China? You know?
Because that's what our generation of buyers, these millennials are talking about, that's what they're looking for. They love it. And you can't imagine now, when and this was a discussion I was having with Charlotte the other day about how many cars, you know, everybody's got their phone connected through the radio in their car.
Really?
And I come pulling a car around the shop, and all of a sudden there's a phone call on it. And I'm listening to a guy talk to his son about going to college, or I'm listening to a wife calling some, whoever it is. I'm listening to their phone conversation as I'm going around the building. Mm-hmm. Because 50% is a number that pops in my head of the cars that we get in now, that the phones and the audio are integrated together or are connected. Yes.
You know, in last week in the last couple of weeks we've had Judge Duffy and Attorney Mark Cooper, and they're both aware of the texting and driving issue. Does this add to that issue, having more time? I mean, more things to take away? I mean, you go out here to my vehicle, and I've got the radio controls on the steering wheel. So once I learn what does what, I can keep my eyes on the road, and I can switch from, mine's got cassette tape, CD, and AM, FM. You know, I can switch from all four modes and never take my eyes off the road. Yet if you've got this screen in the middle of the dashboard and you're trying to find where the nearest Starbucks is, and you're in Springfield going to Poplar Bluff or St. Louis or Memphis, and you're keying that in, you're taking your eyes off the road. Is that not going to distract us?
Well, again, Dale, on this stuff here, a lot of this, you're not keying anything in. You're telling it what you want it to look for. Yeah. It's hands-free. I seen a thing the other day where they was talking. It says your car is not a hands-free device. But, you know, a lot of that stuff now, it's voice controlled. So you can talk to it. We had a physician in the shop a couple, 3 weeks ago, and we were servicing his vehicle, and one of the guys was inside of it, putting a sticker on the window and resetting his oil light, and his phone and his radio's connected, and bleep, all of a sudden he's on there talking to somebody at the hospital, and the guy in the truck goes, I didn't know what I'd done. You know, and different things. You know, it is just the way things, that's where it's headed.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's headed that way like a freight train. But I think, without a doubt, and I'll speak for myself, nobody else, that all of this technology has the ability to distract us. Because I will catch myself going down the road and paying a little more attention maybe to picking my next song on the radio or whatever like that, or I call my wife and I'm talking to the radio to get it to call her, and I'm not paying as much attention to the highway. Now, I try to pick out on the road where I've got the road to myself. I don't have a car right in front of me, and I'm not doing it down here in front of McDonald's at noon.
Yeah, oh boy.
But still yet, it distracts you. And this is just kind of where we're headed. We're going to have this scourge of distracted driving is not going anywhere, because the technology is just, it's leaping by exponentially every year. And it's, you know, not just cars, but we got pickups coming in with that same stuff, you know, and the minivans with that people use to haul their kids to go to school or go to Branson or go wherever on vacation, with TV screens in the headrest of the seats so the kids can watch a movie. And, you know, things are really advancing quickly.
They are.
Yep. And you're right, man. When you go to buy a car or a truck,
Reliability, I think, is the main factor.
do some research. Use this internet we've been talking about this morning, and look it up and see. And you can also, and I'll tell you what, and I want to use my truck for an example, a Ram 1500. If you want to see what's going on with a Ram 1500, go to the forums. Like they have several different forums that's just for Ram trucks.
Right.
And just read. Spend a couple hours reading. And if you want to find out if there are issues with your vehicle, that's one of the best places I have found, because this is just people that have bought this truck and now they're having such and such of an issue. Well, if you see one guy having an issue with a transmission, that ain't a big deal. But if you see 15 guys on there posting about transmission problems, we've got a transmission issue in this vehicle.
Yeah.
And you can learn a lot by doing that.
There you go.
You really, really can. I advise people to do that on a weekly basis up at Minute Mechanic. When they ask me about a used car, used truck, I ask them, do you use your computer? Oh, yeah, I'm on it every day. Look this forum up and read about issues with these cars and trucks.
Yeah.
And if there is a prevailing problem, it will show up.
Yep, that's true.
You said that about airbags a while ago.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned airbags.
Yeah.
I got a recall on my truck. It's apparently got one of those Takata airbags that's been it's like a hand grenade going off. And I got a recall notice, and I called out to the dealer, and he took my name and information and the number on that recall notice, and he said, now, you're number 174 on my list, and we've not gotten parts for any of these to repair them yet, so don't wait by the phone.
Oh, wow.
So I guess I probably ought to avoid a wreck if I can.
Yeah, to say the least. Wow. No parts yet, huh?
None yet.
Oh, boy. There's a forum for you.
Yep.
174 and no parts.
Well,
thanks, Chrysler.
Well, it's not, there's millions of these cars floating around with those Takata airbags from every manufacturer under the sun.
Yeah.
And you can imagine I'll be surprised if they ever get parts to fix it. I'll be rid of this truck probably before any parts are ever brought in to fix it with.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
I hear you.
Yep.
Anyway, 2 minutes to talk about business this week. Oil change, transmission service, front end alignment, rotate those tires, check the air pressure.
On mornings like this, there's going to be a lot of low tire lights on.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Transmission services, boy, we have been on a roll. We've been doing a bunch of those.
Wow.
And, that T-Tech machine we've got up there is one of the best pieces of equipment we got. It's dead simple in the way it operates, and we've had it for a long time. Yeah. And we can go in there on most vehicles, not every one, but you can drop that transmission pan and put a new gasket, drop that old filter out of there, put a new one in, clean it up, put it all back together, and then flush all your fluid out of there. We get everything inside that converter. Yep. And when you leave, man, your fluid is brand spanking new.
That's how it needs to be.
Yeah, it is. We've discussed it before that dropping the pan on one will change 4, maybe 5 quarts of fluid. And, man, there's another 8 or 7, 8, 9, 10
converter,
that's up inside the transmission. This gets all that out, too. And it works great.
You got plenty of time to get folks in this week?
Yeah, we're open all week long, Dale. There, I stole your thunder. No holidays for us.
Yeah, and even Valentine's Day is on a Sunday, so you can't take that one. Just joking.
I know, yeah.
Just joking. Minute Mechanics open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday this week, 425-3135. All major brands of motor oils.
Yes.
Top quality filters.
Yep, we got it all. They'll be there today to deliver more oil. Everything's been running smooth. We've had a good start to 2016. I'm going to knock on wood that things keep rolling like that, and hopefully we can avoid any ice and stuff like that, and everybody glide right on into springtime.
Yeah, no ice storms and nothing like what we've had in the last couple of seasons. A little bit of snow ain't going to hurt anybody, but so far it's been pretty good. The rain has come through and it's warmer. That's good.
And it looks like this weekend is going to be back up to around 50 this coming weekend, so this is just a little bump in the road.
No problem there. Well, don't forget, Men Mechanics open 8 to 5, Monday through Friday this week. Give Mike and the gang a call. They're ready to get you in, 425-3135. They're on Highway 201 North across from Salvation Army, so give them a call and don't hesitate. And if you're putting up with no heat, run by there. They'll get you fixed up. Time for the news. Be right back.